Today we are going to be learning about something little, that is image processing, and we're going to be learning um, about pixels and what a pixel is. Um, we're going to be learning about strings. We're going to be learning about the brightness property of both pixels and bitmap images, and I'll also be explaining to you how images are interpreted by machines so that you can be able to manipulate them. And so let's start by pixels. What you should understand is that I'll be very brief. What you should understand is that pixels are these everything has anything on the screen is a pixel, right? The light of color on a screen, maybe on a mobile phone, or just, you know what I mean. So most of the time you see when a phone is being advertised, they say the screen resolution is 2500 by 500 pixels, so that's what it means, and every single pixel holds just one color. So if you have a picture and you say it's high resolution or it's high density, high quality, it means that it has more pixels to it. So but in reality is only one pixel. A pixel can hold only one color. So but in image processing, a color is very different from an image. Pixel is a machine interpretation of a color, and a color is graphical interpretation. So I hope you get that. So and then strings in strings and floats. So what is a string? A string is just an array of letters. Yeah. Well, float is anything with a decimal point. Yeah. Any number value with a decimal point. So one thing you should understand that in this tutorial, to get image brightness, we'll be using the hue, saturation, brightness. So we'll be using the hue, saturation, brightness method to get the brightness property of a bitmap pixel image. So, and one thing you should know about the hue, about the HSB, is that the brightness ranges from 0 to 1. So 0 represents represents black. 0 represents black value, and 1 represents the white. Easy, right? So so when you know that, it's a little bit easier. But so this is something little I was trying out. So let's take a look at my demo. earlier on I talked about pixels and how to differentiate and how to exactly get what a pixel is. I'll just take up an image and I'll take an image. I'll take an image from my laptop and just sort of to explain what pixels are. When you zoom into an image, you sort of start seeing these boxes, and those little boxes are what we call pixels. Well, I can't seem to find any pictures, so anyway, my project is loaded and it's the wrong project, so we have to open up the project. Yep, there we go. So in this demo we're going to be opening a file dialog where the user is allowed to choose an image, and then you calculate the number of pixels in that image. Of course, depending on the camera on the device, it also ranges with the quality of the image, but in this case we are against high quality videos and pictures, so you get my point. So let's start with the button click function, which is a public void button click. Mine is a public void button on click, which is a event argument. And so we start with our 3 floats. That's okay. We start with the open file dialog. Open now is equals to new open file dialog. You instantiate that. Remember that open file dialog is a class readily available for you by the .NET framework. So open now dot show dialog. That's the first execution, and then to get the file name or to reference to the file, we say maybe string pic is equals to opener, which is a open file dialog, the file name. Yeah, so file name represents the file just opened by the user, and then we can continue to we are going to convert our image in whatever format it is into a bitmap. We'll say bitmap picture is equals to bitmap from pic from file is pic. What is pic? Pic is opener.file name, which is what the user inputted. So you have to convert it into a bitmap so that you get my point. So you have to initialize a color. Let me say color dot pixel color is equals to picture dot get pixel. Yeah. So we are using the bitmap to get the color from the bitmap. So there's no way you can get the color property from anything else except from the bitmap. That's why we converted our image into a bitmap. So and then this 50 by 100 represents the x and y coordinates of an image. That is, the x is the width and the y is the height. So when you multiply the number of pixels and the width and the height, you get the total number of pixels, we actually do right here. We say picture dot size, and size is the number of images, the number of pixels, sorry, dot height to um, dot height, which is just the height, so x times y gets a total number of images of pixels, sorry. So this particular execution, we're going to get the brightness value of the pixel 50 by 100. Do not get confused, these are not 2 pixels. This is a reference to a pixel in a position of 50 by 100, because an image is a graph of pixels. You get that? So yeah, so right there we get the number of pixels, and then pixel image, then you say color dot first pixel dot picture dot get pixel. Yep. So one thing you should know is that get pixel is a method that you have to have. It's a method that cannot be initialized without parameters. So if you say you just go dot get pixel, then you just go like that. That won't work because a pixel just has to have coordinates. We were using 100 by 100, and you can see from the IntelliSense it says get the color of the specified pixel in the system.drawing.bitmap. So yep, so we get the brightness of this, and this should always give me a float. Brightness value is always in a float, that is in the hue. And we talked about earlier us using the hue, that is a hue saturation brightness property or class to measure the brightness of pixels and colors. So every color has its brightness, and yeah, that should be it, and this should be running. So there we go. So the first brightness value is 0, the second is 1, and the average brightness of that picture is 0.5, and the pixels of that picture is 378 by 299, and the total are it is 113,022 pixels, and the brightness value is 0, which is black. So I'm sorry if I confused earlier, but the darker the brightness value, the closer it is to 0. So 1 means the brightest. So one thing I should probably mention is that I feel like I'm forgetting something. This button click event triggers a lot of these events, and where you initialize your data values also matters, because if you initialize something at the top, it will be available at the bottom, and if you initialize something at the bottom, right? Just previously you try to reach or access the values of that data type at the top, you just won't find it. So it's important, like here we talked about we talked about some being brightness 1 plus brightness 2. That's because the brightness is at the top. Otherwise, if we were to move this to the lower parts, we should get an error saying that you've used an assigned local variable brightness 1 while it's at the bottom of the page of the code. And so just return it right there. It should be working again. So this is really important if you're trying to manipulate images and get to understand how images work and how the computer understands images and all that kind of stuff. Thanks for watching. You can get more of my tutorials and articles from geekhabs.azurewebsite.net, so check that out.